Take it away.
Oh, hi.
Oh my God. We literally just said, who's
I
going
know,
to
but what
start,
do?
me or you? And you're like, I don't care. And I said, well, you, because you've not started. I press record and you just sit there like the double,
I
yeah.
was waiting. Was waiting. Well, everybody, welcome back. This is episode 4.
Aye, it
I
is.
gossip with friends with the lovely Aileen and myself. And just to say that the video that she just put out there about me being late, thanks for that. Stick me right in there.
Listen, Linda, I'm just being honest and proving to people that everything I say is true. I'm always right. I'm sick of telling people this because everybody always says I'm always wrong. I'm always right, and I just have to have evidence.
Yeah, well, we're here now, aren't we? How's
I
your week been?
probably got about 10 minutes to talk. My week has been, well, like I said in that video, so do you know how I said to you last weekend, we really need to go on our socials because we've been slacking and I've got that many social pages that I can't keep up and most of them have all got the word reboot in them. So I'm sick of saying the word reboot. I'm sick of hearing my voice and I'm sick of seeing myself on my phone.
Well,
You've died.
I
Cheers,
know
Robin.
that. Here we go again. I need to
It's
put
all
the
right.
volume up.
I mean, the volume doesn't freeze you. I'm just saying.
I know, but I was like
You know
I
how
was
everybody
wondering.
likes to say aliens pure thick as shit, aliens dumb,
Oh
aliens that?
God,
It's Danielle's turn this week. I am
yeah,
like
Danielle.
Albert Einstein, and she is Mickey Mouse. Mickey
Albert
Mouse.
Einstein.
Do you remember the song when you were wee and you used to sing? And it was no how like you done I did or that you are not it and all that, right? I don't know if this is
Aye,
just a Scottish thing. Did you ever do the one Mickey Mouse in his house? I don't want to say it in case I get into trouble.
Mickey Mouse in his house.
And it's today with his trousers.
No, it used to be Donald Duck.
What could he know here, fuck?
No, but see if you just says that one just came into my head. That dog shit.
hmm
Harry
What was the
something
other
just say
one? Angle, angle,
that one.
angle, angle, silver bangle. Is that it? Did you do
No, I
that
never
one?
done that. No.
I forget that you're a wee bit younger than me. Um, what was the other ones you used? What was the one? Under the bramble bushes down by the sea, 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 true
Boom, boom,
love for
boom.
you, my darling, true love for me.
When we
Let's
get
get
married.
married. We'll have a family. A boy for you and a girl for me. What's the next
That's
bit?
the end of chapter 3.
I don't think that was it. It was something to do with fishes in the sea, was it not?
I don't know.
Anyway, that's the only bit of singing you are getting from me today because I'm getting sick of this getting all my singing away for free.
Do you remember the other one you used to sing? Oh no, I had it in my head there and it's just went away. Sinbad was a sailor.
Aye. How did it go again though?
Sinbad was a sailor. His father was one too. Sinbad went to heaven. His father went to Helensburgh
That's
Castle,
right.
high upon a rock.
Try to think of another one. There was hunters.
Yeah.
If you remember any going to write in, because this is quite nostalgic. And this is actually quite good because I'm menopausal and I have really bad brain fog. So the fact that I can remember something from when I was about 7, 8, listen, that was nearly 40 years ago for me. The fact that I can
Wow.
remember that when I can't even remember to turn the toast without burning it. Do you remember that? When my smoke
Yeah.
alarm went off? I forgot I put toast under the grill. And I went away back in and sat on the couch, shut the kitchen door, went away back in, sat on the couch and started watching whatever I was watching on the telly or doing something on the computer or whatever I was doing. And the next thing, all the smoke alarms. And it's know that you don't just have one smoke alarm in your house anyway, you've got three. So I've got all these smoke alarms going off in my house. And I didn't know how to turn them off. I didn't know why they were going off. And my
Oh,
brain
my
had to do
brother.
too many things at the one time.
Wait till I tell you, one of my pals were in last night, right? I meant to tell you this last night, but it's just
Oh no.
came into me because I'm looking in your house. And she was talking about watching this, right? And she says, Danielle, know how your friend? And I says,
Oh
aye.
no, what have I done?
And she's like, see in her house at the back here, like there's a man always standing, like it's like a cut
Oh,
out of a man,
My wee PA, my wee
right? And
personal
she's like,
assistant.
no, but this is what I mean. Like she's as daft as you, and she went, is that a cut out of your dad or something like that? I went,
Aye,
what? I went, it's Danny
listen,
DeVito. And she's like,
if
what? I
that
went,
was my
it's
dad,
actual Danny DeVito.
listen, Linda, I don't know what your name is, and I don't know where you live, and I don't know who you are, but see if that was my dad, I wouldn't be living in a council house now, full of dampness, in a bedroom short.
So I says to her,
I'd be
I,
sitting
said,
in
I had
America.
to actually go back on to get it and like try and zoom in on it. I says, look, you can see it's Danny DeVito. And she's like, "Ah, all right, okay.
So see, instead of like doing your CSI Glasgow and everything, because that's my job, not yours. How did you know just video call me and ask me to show her?
I didn't think that she was leaving.
See what I mean? How
But
Danielle's pure
I
stupid.
think next week we need to bring him a wee bit closer so that we can actually see it's Danny DeVito.
Right, so there's a problem with that though.
I'll take a picture and put him on our socials.
Aye, there's a wee bit of a problem with that. Danny DeVito's a wee bit drunk these days, and he's getting a bit old, and he can't quite stand up as well as he used to. he
Bit
needs
like
something
yourself.
to he needs something to hold him up. Hence why he's behind my couch. He's in between my couch, my therapy bed that I've got for when I'm doing my massages and things, and my wall. He really needs a lot of help these days. He's getting old. He's getting on a bit.
Oh God, poor Danny.
Listen, oh, we spoke about this. I can't talk about it again, but I'll just never forget the time he was in Friends and he was stripping for Phoebe.
No, aye, that was a good day.
And at first she didn't like him, and it because he's height and everything. And then the next time she's like pure, woo!
Aye, for his last
Getting it
dance.
yelled at.
So it's been happening. Anything interesting this week?
Right, so apart from the fact I'm sick of the sound of my own voice, I'm sick of looking at my 25 chins. Um, no, I've been
Good.
working on my website again. And do you know how I make a decision to do something?
Yeah.
She's starting to look scared, she's getting comfy. So
Mhm.
I thought it was a really good idea. And it is a really good idea, right? Because I've not done it on this business before. So this business has been going for like 5 year come this summer, right? And I decided to do a rebrand. Now the reason I'm rebranding, well, there's a lot of reasons, but I'm adding new things in. I'm trying to tweak things. I've changed my logo because I was never 100% happy with my logo. And I just different things. So obviously, I was bringing in memberships and I
Mhm.
was bringing in like members courses and things like that. So like you might come on one of my courses that lasts 9 months or whatever, and it's like a weekly thing or however we're going to do it. I've not finally finalised all the details for everything. So I'm not very tech minded, as you know, can barely bloody
Oh, that's fun.
live life, never mind it. So I was looking up how to do because I built my website myself through a website builder, right? Obviously, you get the templates and everything else, and you just add all your bits you need. And I always said I'd never build a website again. So I didn't know how to add memberships in, like paid memberships. Obviously, you can get where somebody can sign into their own account. I mean, I don't even know what that does on my website, but I think that's on there. Um, but I didn't know how to add in memberships where it's like a rolling payment or a rolling contract or whatever else. So I googled all that a couple of weeks ago, and you have to add on a separate app for another company. So I done all that, but it was going to cost me whatever amount a month, and I just thought, why did I not just put a link to my payment service?
Mhm.
So now I'm saving myself that money and I've had to take that link. So it took me about an hour yesterday to find out where I put the link on my website to add this app that you can
Mhm.
have memberships. So I had to find it all again to take it off, and that took me ages. Took me longer to take it off than it did to put it on.
It's your story then, hen.
I know everything's taken off a long time.
Oh dear.
All
Topics this
by
week. What have we gone with?
myself. Well, see,
Well, I just,
considering, huh?
do you want me to pick one for the list?
You pick one. I've just sent you a full list or two. Take your pick, Ken. I mean, really, realistically, we should be more prepared than this, but Danielle's always late and Danielle can't make a decision.
Danielle's not always late. Danielle's like,
This is the fourth episode.
yes, but
You,
it's the time difference and all that. I was happy to do it last night and then I felt sorry for you because you were tired and the two ended up sitting up all night anyhow.
I know,
You
an
should
hour
have
and a
just done it.
half sleep. I don't. So I got to, what
Um,
time did you say I got to sleep? About 3 or 4?
aye.
And then my son gets up for work at 4:30, and he was banging about 5 this morning. So I've had like an hour
And
and
you
a
know we
half
can't
sleep.
do it when I've got them in the house anyhow
I could
because,
that more editing for me.
aye, the wee one likes to be in front of the camera.
I know, God love her. She wants
So
to be
let's
famous. She
go
thinks her Aunt
with,
Aileen and her mummy are going to be famous.
aye. And then the best laugh was when she turned and said, it's all right, but I'll be famous for twerking. God
Aye.
help me.
I think I took that. Was that when I was recording? Or was that? No, that was before we were recording. Was it?
So, wait till I tell you what she done to me the other day. I told you about we done the colour challenge thing to go to the shop and buy stuff on that colour. And I swear, like, see, for our
Tell the
age, we're
story,
only
but because everybody needs to hear this.
so what I done was I got a colour generator and I put it on my phone and me, her and my sister, big sister, like picked got our
See,
colours.
before you
I
tell the
got
story, how did you come up with the idea for a colour generator? Because that's quite good for you.
she did.
Oh my God.
It was all her. She was the one that asked me to do it. So she got orange,
So how
I
does
get
she know
green.
about a colour generator?
I
Because I
don't
don't
know.
even know about one of them.
She says, Mum, go and Google and get the colour thing up and it'll give us a colour each and then we can go
She's
to
a
the
wee
shop
smarty
and pick stuff
pants.
with that colour. I says, okay, so she got orange, I get green, and they'll just go purple. So she thought she was quite funny with orange but and she's like, ah, you get green, what can you get with green? And obviously their favourite thing now is Dubai chocolate. So I turned and went, oh, I'll just go and get myself Dubai chocolate. So she was raging that she never got green.
I know, but you know, me and her agree on this. You and your oldest cheated.
No, I had to buy stuff for the house
No,
anyhow.
you
So
cheated.
there's a certain toilet roll that I buy here and the packaging's blue. And she's like, well, that's not right because that's blue. Like, there's a green toilet package in there. You can get the green one. I says, no, I don't like that toilet roll. So, anyhow, we were laughing. So, we're walking back for the shop and she's like, well, I mean, you and so, our big sister, that just nearly came out there,
Aye,
is cheated because you didn't stick to your proper colours.
I
It's
agree with
no
her.
fair. And she's walking with a nice lolly, remember, 7-year-old. And she's like, I mean, and here's me living my best life, sticking to my colours. So I right, okay.
She's definitely Aunt Aileen's pal. That's the kind of thing I'd come up with. But I agree with her because, right, you had purple, so what did you buy?
I didn't have green.
No, you had green. Right, you had green and the other one had purple. What did you buy?
I bought a packet of M&Ms.
Because they were green packaging. What else did you buy?
No, because I had a green M&M on the front. I wanted M&Ms. I
What else did you
bought
buy?
a cheese in a packet of cold meat that was green packaging.
Green packaging. No, this is cheating.
How?
You could have got
Green
yourself
packaging?
green grapes. You could have got yourself a green apple. You could have got
Can I
yourself
get
a...
grapes at this time of year in Turkey?
Well, move back to Scotland. You could have got yourself limeade. Don't know if you get that there either. You could have got yourself
Got
mouldy
them none
bread.
in there.
Mouldy bread.
That's blue.
It's green.
It's blue.
It's green and blue. Right, listen. So then what did we get with the purple stuff? Because this was
Um,
cheating as well.
a, a souffle, a chocolate souffle that was in a purple packet. Um, purple
I hope all
Smarties,
yous
like
are going to come for
Smarties,
her.
but it's Milka and a Milka chocolate bar.
Cheating. Nah,
An orange packet of, yeah, it just says an orange packet of Chris, an orange bottle of
bring it on.
Fanta, and a orange ice lolly.
She stuck to the assignment and yous didn't.
No, she wasn't happy with it.
And neither was I. I was raging. I was team small child. You were team Danielle, as usual. Selfish. Just think of
Normal.
yourself.
Right, I'm just gonna go random then and just pick one off the list and
Go,
go with the flow.
go,
We're doing it that way.
go.
Red flags.
Oh, I'm an expert on this. Shane. I've had hundreds of them in my life.
Go. What's your first red flag about somebody? Like, what is a red flag to you when you meet somebody? Like, is there something that happens that it's like, oh, red flag straight away?
Right, but wait a minute. Wait till we clarify this. So, see, when you say red flags, is it a personal red flag, as in that puts you off somebody, or is it a red flag, as in, oh my God, they are something else?
Well, do one each. Do a personal one for you, and then
Right, so my personal, and this isn't really a red flag, and it's not really anything somebody can change, but, and, so obviously I've spoke about before. I've got to feel really bad saying this. And listen, this is just a personal preference. Um, I'm going to get hate for this. So, can you start?
let's
No,
go for
right.
it.
Obviously, we know that I've done dating websites before, and I'll never ever do them again, right? But that's not the point. So, obviously, in a dating website, you talk to somebody on the site first and message, and then you might go into text messages if you exchange phone numbers.
Right.
I always get scared when it comes to the phone call because their voice can put me off.
As in what?
This is a bit I've got to get hate for.
So, like, if it's a picture of somebody and their voice doesn't match their image, like it gives you the ick kind of thing.
Aye. So see if the voice is a bit
So,
feminine.
a bit like catfishing, you think you're getting catfished.
No, it's not even catfishing. It's see if the voice is too feminine. It puts me right off. I told you. Listen, it's a personal preference. I like. Anyway, what's yours?
A red flag.
That's not a red flag. That's just a personal preference that it puts me off. But I'm not saying I wouldn't give them a chance. I would. I would just only give them half a
My
chance.
thing is like, it's been that long since I've been dating or anything, but
Tell
I'll
me
go
about
with
it.
like I'll go with my pals like dating and what like if they tell me something and I'm like, oh no, like that's a red flag to me straight away.
Aye,
Like, see if you start talking to somebody and that, right? And then you say you're going out, but they want to know where you're going, who you're going with. Like
aye, right. So you've just made me think of another one. Aye, so
he
they need to know
tells
your
you like
they need
you're
to know your
nice, but
every
you've only
movement.
started talking to them, and I'm
Aye,
like, no, that's no, no, that's a red flag. Like, or they think they can tell you where to go or where not to go.
aye. So another one is when they want to meet your veins too quick.
Oh, aye.
Because I've got this thing and I've always said it. Unless I was pals with the person before and the ways I've seen the person, but I still wouldn't introduce them as my boyfriend. If I was,
Mhm.
they would still, obviously my Waynes are grown up now, so it's a bit different, but when my Waynes were Waynes, they didn't get to meet anybody. And it was like, I mean, that person that I was with the last, I think that was like the last decade or something like that. That has been that long. Like the last century. Last century when I was dating. Um, it was 3 years before he met my Waynes. But there
Aye,
was
that's
that.
right.
That was the. I mean, I'm not that bad. I would normally say 6 months to a year, and it would depend when I felt comfortable. The only other people they've met is people that I've been friends with, and then I've ended up dating them because they already knew them as my pals.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? But somebody that wants to meet my veins, the reason he never met my veins for 3 years is because at one point he was working away and things like that. And it was a long distance relationship to begin with. The other thing as well is when they think they can tell you how to dress, how to wear your hair,
Oh, aye.
or don't wear makeup because you look better without it. Is it you look better, or is it because they don't want you to look better with makeup on? No, don't get me wrong. A lot of people do look better without makeup on because they are naturally stunning. They're naturally beautiful. I'm not that
Thanks.
person, but I'm no. Have any of you seen my video this week at the start of the week where my chin was away down here somewhere? And my eyes are like
I'm
that.
just not one of the, you know that, I'm just not one of the people that wear makeup. Like, I just
Well,
can't.
aye, we know I
It
only
just
wear
irritates
makeup
me.
when I'm working, and obviously I class my podcast as working because it is still part of my business. Anything because listen, I don't want to give anybody a jump scare, especially when they're paying me to do a job for them. I, I,
Aye.
I'm old school though.
I
I'm
do wear
very,
it to work.
aye.
Like
That's
when
the
I'm
only
on the
times
pirate ship, I wear it.
when I'm working, recording, which is part of work. When I'm working at my therapy business, coaching business, um, or if I'm going on a night out. But even I don't go on night suits anymore. So really, it's only when I'm working I wear makeup.
And now and again, I wear it at night out. It just depends how I feel. Like, if I feel like, oh, I've not been dressed up in a while, I'm going to put a bit of makeup on, then I will. Um, when I go to work on the ship, normally the start of the season and the end of the season, I'll put makeup on. But see, in the middle, when it's the height of summer, you'll get a bit of lipstick on me, and that's it.
But I think part of that's because it's so warm where you are. Your makeup would just melt off you anyway.
And the only reason that you will see makeup is because as the year goes on, you'll know everybody will understand what I mean. We mean my sunglasses, and I get the
Yes, I know.
panda eyes because my face is pure brown and that part's pure white
Hmm.
because of my sunglasses.
Listen, some
But other
people
than
actually
that,
do their makeup like that. People actually, these days, I don't,
I'm just not a makeup kind of person.
but I'm still very old school with my makeup. As you can see, I don't do the whole, what do you call it, contouring and all that. I don't know
Contour.
how to do any of that malarkey. You get a bit of foundation, you get a bit of powder. Sometimes you'll get some eyeshadow, some mascara, and a wee bit of lippy, and
Oh no, when
I'm
I
good
do
to
my
go.
makeup, I do it. Like I do it properly. Very rarely that I'll do contour and all that. Like I'm
No,
not that
that's what
type
I'm
of
saying. I do
person.
it properly, but I don't do the whole
But
contour
I'll
thing.
do like smoky eyes and eyeshadow and I
No, I
do
do
go
my
all out.
eyeshadow, but I don't know how. I've never been able to master that whole smoky eye thing.
Oh no, I do. When I do it, I do it.
I don't know
One thing I just
how to do it right.
I don't thing me at all, and you'll know like with my colour anyhow that I'm blending into my was is fake tan.
No, I don't. I did buy it, but we'll talk about that on another topic that's on that list,
I mean,
Teresa.
look at the colour of my look at the colour.
Listen, Linda, it's all right. I'm the same. I mean that
I
that's
see
like
in the summer everybody laughs at me because in the summer like my top half's pure brown. My legs go like no brown, but they go like a cappuccino colour.
but
And see my belly, it's like blue.
I'm raging though because realistically, if you were to dig deep, I should be an olivey colour. You're got to
Don't
say
care.
why, aren't you?
No,
Right.
because I know it's got to make them because I've heard this before.
Are you sure? My dad's half Maltese, and my dad is very tanned, very brown all year round. Why did I not get that?
You take your
I
match.
think I would have suited that. A nice colour, nice tanned glow, nice blonde hair, even though I don't know what colour my hair is this week. With my blue eyes, although I always wanted brown eyes. I always thought I should have had blonde hair and brown eyes. No, nobody
Aye.
in my family's got brown eyes, but apart from my oldest son, he got it for his dado. But so I wasn't getting no chance of getting brown eyes, but I
Everybody in
always
my
thought,
family's got brown eyes and I ended up with them.
got to buy you a DNA kit. Did you hear about that story? I never read it. I just read the headline. Somebody's auntie bought them. a DNA kit for their Christmas and then it totally ripped their family apart.
Oh dear.
I hope you're not listening to this, and if you are, I'm very sorry that I mentioned it. I'm not telling your story because I don't actually know your story, I just read the headline. Um, but we might be talking about red flags. So what else? So right, here's one, and I've spoke about this person before on here. Well, I've not mentioned their name obviously, but I spoke about the situation. I think we spoke about it on the first episode, maybe. Do you remember the one who ended up on the front of the papers? So it was a guy for dating me.
All right, okay, right. I get who you're talking about.
I don't even know what that meant.
I know you didn't. I think you will get it later on.
Oh, I maybe know what you're talking about. Right, so you need to text me or phone me later. Um, aye, so this person, he ended up, right, so I just got pure red flags to him straight away.
That's right.
There was just something about him that wasn't right. And he was quite pushy. See how, like, we were talking about, like, trying to force the relationship to be quicker and everything else. And then he was talking about an ex that he's got away with. Now, I don't even know if this story's true, because everything he said was a lie. Lived in England and she stopped him for seeing the rain, but I actually think there was a court order to stop him from getting anywhere near the two of them because by the end of the 2 weeks, and I'd only seen him once in these 2 weeks, and in actual fact, it wasn't even a date. It was my pal went to go and buy a motor off him, and then she never bought the motor, and we were driving away. But it was like a compound type thing. See how like if you were to go to like a scrappy or that, it was a bit like that. It was all gated and fenced and whatever else, and there was a building and whatever, and there was motors and there was different things going on. I don't even know if he owned it. He could have broke into it, and I could have broke into it with him for all I know. Um, but as we drove in, he shut the gates. Now this isn't where the red flag starts. The red flag kind of started before this, so I don't even know why the two years went. But we are women of aye, we can fight our corner. So anyway, he ended up in the front of the papers because he abducted,
That's right.
raped, and tried to murder a lassie who again had only been with him for 2 weeks, and she tried to end it with him, and that's what he done to her. He tied her up in a fucking caravan or something like that, doing it at a sort of
Scary.
beachy place. Anyhow, but we always said he was like Jekyll and Hyde. One minute it was, hi babe, this, that, and that. Next minute it's, I'm gonna fucking find out where you stay and I'm gonna burn your house down. And I'm like, here, pal, catch you later. See you. No, thank you.
Your swear
Um,
jar's got to be really good this week.
you're
That's about
breaking,
4 times
you're
you've done
breaking up. I can't hear you. Um,
it.
listen, don't be one of the people. So
Aye, so if
he
anybody
was
else
just
has
a
got red
he
flags,
was a
let
walking
write
red
into us
flag.
and tell us
I
what your
would
red flag
say
is.
I would I would say a certain career would be a red flag for me nowadays, but I'm not going to mention it.
My phone's ringing.
It wasn't me. I'm not even anywhere near my phone.
I know, hold on. I wouldn't answer because that's rude.
I mean, I could
Um,
pause.
no, it's all right.
Aye, I would say a certain career's a red flag for me nowadays, but I can't tar everybody with the same brush just because I've had multiple experiences
With the same career.
with the same career. Right, and if you think you know what that career is, um,
Actually,
right,
wait a
here's
minute.
no,
Like, I
here's
need to get no, 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 no,
no,
no,
wait a
no, no,
minute,
no.
here's a
Wait
red
now.
flag. Can I get this out? Because you know I'll forget it.
Hurry up.
Right, somebody, a guy that's willing to take on your reins, but doesn't see his aim.
Aye,
I'm talking to you, no you, you.
aye. That is a red flag. Defo.
Right, go what you got to say.
Back to this total sheep video. Like, I'm waiting for people to give us 1,000 likes on that. Like, I want this to happen this year.
Nobody loves you, everybody hates you. Go
So once
and
again, I'm going to put it out there.
worm.
Anybody that gives one of your videos 1,000 likes, if you can share it or get 1,000 likes, or we get
No,
a thousand
it was a
subscribers.
particular video,
Subscribers.
but it wasn't just any video.
No, it's any video that gets 1,000 likes on it.
No, no, that was
Aye,
easy.
aye.
Listen,
And
I didn't
also,
even agree to
if it's
anything.
not even 1,000 likes, if we get 1,000 comments or 1,000 subscribers, then what I want to do is I'm going to arrange the whole
Pod the bus.
healing coming over with a
Pod
fear
the
me
bus.
facing some.
She's changing this every time she talks about it.
No, no. That was the whole deal. It was either 1,000 comments, 1,000 likes, or 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and
You
Aileen's
do
going to come over a
realise
fear a scene sheet.
I edit this. I can take that wee bit out
No, but you didn't in the last one, so everybody
because I
knows. I'll
forgot.
just put a post on the social media.
You do
I
you
might
then.
actually do that today. I might just actually post. I might do it right now. Post on the page and ask for 1,000 likes or 1,000 comments, and
Good luck with
Aileen's
that
going to
because I don't
overcome
even
it.
know the login to give you it.
But I'll just post it as me on the page.
It won't. It depends what page it is. Do you know this is how rude she is, right? She lets me do all the work. It took her 2 weeks to follow the Facebook page and she's telling you all to subscribe.
I know.
I think you
Because
should give me
I'm
love
not
and
used
hate
to
for that.
Facebook again, and then I don't know how to really work it.
You don't know how to do very much, do you?
I know I'm
I hope you know how to work your husband when he comes back tonight.
oh, I'll know how to work him, don't you worry.
Listen, Linda,
Right, go, you come up with pick a topic.
I'm trying to think if I've got any more red flags. I've probably got a full list. Listen, oh no, she texts me, right, and she says, I've got a good topic for you. Red flags. What's your red flag or something like she said, and I went, they're breathing.
Aye, not believing.
They're still
That's
upright. Um, right, seeing as we're talking about red flags, one of the things that I wrote down, one of the topics I wrote down was marriage relationships and prenups, right? See if
right.
you had been with somebody for long enough to the point you're going to get married to them. Would you expect them to trust you 100%? And would you, if you were going to get married to somebody, because obviously there is people out there, and I'm not slating you, so do not come for me. Obviously there is people out there that just think, well, if I get married and it doesn't work out, I'll just get divorced. But then you've got the other category of people who think marriage is for life.
Right.
Listen, it's what suits you, married all. So if you were going to get married to somebody and you were taking that step, you were making that commitment, and you had been with them for however long, because obviously we know some people get married after 24 hours. Brittany Beach. Um, and we know that some people get married, divorced, sorry, quite quickly. See if you were getting married and the person you're getting married to said to you, I'll only marry you if you sign this prenup. What would your initial thoughts be?
They didn't trust me.
Right, see, this is what I think. This is my thinking. It's
But
not
then
about,
you can
it's,
look at it a different way.
uh-huh,
So if they came for like their family had like they came for inheritance and their
aye,
family had a lot, then if it was more about like you're not allowed to touch the family inheritance or anything
right.
like that, then
So I get that.
definitely do that.
I get that. I get if it's like, say for example, it's been a family business, it's been in the business for 100 years or whatever else, or a family home that's been in the house for multiple generations. You can't touch that. I completely get that. But see when it's um if you stay married to me, if we divorce within 5 years, you don't get a penny, right? I'm just using that as an example. But for every year after that, you'll get £10,000. I don't know what a prenup looks like. I'm just surmising what it might say, right? But what if you've already been with them for 10, 15 years? So realistically, when you marry them for 5 years, you've been with them for about 15, 20 years. Because you're common
Aye.
law wife or husband at that point anyway. Well, if you've been living together. I just think it's a bit red flaggy.
Like I do
I
understand
feel as if
prenups to
sometimes
like,
though, some prenups, like if it isn't to do with like family heirlooms and things like that,
but
if it's
then
nothing to
as
do with that,
well, like if it's a short time relationship, for example, if you're a self-made person and you've got a really good company and a good business and all that, and then you meet this person and they want to marry you
but
within
that's
like
what I'm
say
saying. It's
a
different
couple of
if
months.
it's different if you're only getting married to them within a couple of months. I understand that. But then that still shows that you don't trust them enough, that you think your marriage is going to last. So why are you marrying them that quick? But then at the
Mhm.
same time, what if you have been with them for a long time and you're going to get married to them and then they give you a
Oh
prenup?
no,
Would you think that they don't think that that marriage is going to last? And
I
if
wouldn't
they
believe
think
that they
that,
trusted me 100%. I wouldn't be able to
it's
marry
not
them.
even about trust, it is about trust, right? But it's also about they clearly don't think the marriage is going to last
That they
if
need
they
a prenup.
think they need a prenup. Now, if you've got a prenup, right in, because clearly I've never been married. Nobody's put that ring on it. I'm still the single lady in the world. Probably the
I
only
never done a
single
prenup.
person in the world at this point. Um,
But I think they're becoming a lot more common now than what they used to be.
I know. I just think they're a bit icky. I don't like. Listen, at this point, I'd marry somebody even if they tell me I was only going to be married for 24 hours. I'm kidding on. I've never wanted to be married. I'm not a person. I'm not a person to be dictated to.
High prenups are a bit, I don't know.
So, right, if you're talking about that, if you're talking about, so at what point in a relationship do you say, right, we're getting married, but I don't trust you enough. So, how many years would you need to be with somebody for a prenup not to exist? Say you were a multi-millionaire, right, and that money all came for family, you inherited it or whatever else, or it all came for, I don't know, whatever. You won the lottery, right? However you came to your money, right? How many years do you need to be with somebody and then you decide to get married and then you say, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Can you word this
I know
better?
what you're trying to say, and then you say, "Oh, wait a minute, we're getting married, so we need to get a prenup." But if you
I,
never had nothing before the relationship and they offered you a prenup, it's more like, well, I don't think this is going to last.
it's
So
like in America. Now, I don't necessarily agree with this to an extent. So, in America, I don't know the full ins and outs, so don't come for me if I get anything wrong, but this is roughly what happens. If you, right, so if you're married to somebody and they've got money, obviously, and you get divorced, you get like a spouse allowance every month.
mhm.
Spousal allowance. I don't know what it's called, if it's called that, it's something like that. But then you also get your child maintenance. So you basically get maintenance for yourself, maintenance for you, right?
Maintenance
But
for yourself and maintenance for you.
aye, you get a spousal thing.
I maintenance for the kids and maintenance
No,
for you.
that's what I said. Maintenance for you and
No, you
maintenance for the ones.
no, you said maintenance maintenance for yourself and maintenance for you.
Right, well, you're the main, right? You know what I mean? Listen, I've had 2 hours sleep. So,
Oh,
but then
that does shut up.
But see the maintenance, right? So see in the UK, I'm only got to use the UK because that's where I've got experience it. The person who has the child either full time or more days in the week or the month gets the child maintenance. But
Right.
if the other parent sees that child or has that child overnight X amount of days a week, then they days get deducted. So they obviously get to keep what would have went to the other parent, they get to keep the money for their days. But see, in America, it doesn't matter who's got the child most often. It doesn't matter who the child lives with more days in the week. It's the person who has the most income pays the other person maintenance. It's pure
Mm.
weird. It's messed up. But they're putting the roof on. So say for example a mother's got the child or a father's got the child 5 or 6 days a week, right? And then the other parent's only got them 1 or 2 days a week. But that person that only has the rain 1 or 2 days a week has a smaller income than the other person. The other person has to pay them a child maintenance, as well as put a roof over the rain, feed the rain, clothe the rain, everything else. I think that's terrible. So just
Mm.
because you've potentially worked harder to get what you've got, then that person can just come and say, well, I've got a win with you, so I'm taking £5,000 a month off you. Do you know what I mean?
Don't know how it works. Mental.
The only reason I know is because I've heard a few people talking about it that I follow on social media. So obviously, two that might be well kind of known more is Robert Kardashian because he's got his daughter more than, or he did. I don't know if it's still the same because I don't follow him. So he used to have to pay his baby mum a child maintenance every month, even though the daughter lived with him more days. And then Kaylin Lowry, who was on Teen Mum 2, I think she was on, and she's done amazing for herself. She's created businesses and she's built homes and everything else. And she has to pay. Now, I think it's only one of the dads that comes for her for maintenance. I'm not 100% sure, but I know definitely one of them comes for her for maintenance. But it sees brains whenever he feels like it. Sometimes I don't know if it's still the same or if it's a bit more regular
I
now.
like the fact that a celebrity, a well-known celebrity, actually, he was paying his baby mama $40,000 a month. Um, and she demanded more of him. And what he says, so you want more? All right, let's go to court then and settle it.
And
And
she ends up getting less.
he only has to pay something like 5,000 a month.
Listen, I love that. Aye. So, but I know somebody who has two kids with one person, um, and the dad used to pay her quite a bit more than what she would have got if she went to the child maintenance service or CMA whenever at the time, whatever it was. And but they hadn't been together for well over 5 years. I don't even think they were in a proper relationship when they had the kids. I think it was like one of the ones that was, um, not saying it was like just a hookup, but I think it was a short-term relationship. I don't think it was a long-term thing. And I don't know if they were still together by the time she gave birth. No slating anybody because I've been a single parent twice for birth. Um, and him and his wife were finally having a baby. They'd been together for multiple years, I think about 4 years or something. Him and his current wife are having a baby. So he says to her, listen, I'm not going to be able to pay you as much as I was. Now, I'm sure he was paying her something like £1,000 a month, which is a lot. You wouldn't get that here, considering the wage he was on, because he wasn't rich or anything like that. He was just in a normal job. Um, and he says, so I'm going to have to deduct it a wee bit because I've got a new baby coming. I need to be able to afford her as well. And she wasn't happy with that. And she says, I'm going to go to child maintenance about him. I says, don't do it because what he's still offering you is still a lot more than what you're going to get when you go to them. She was living in a beautiful house, but it was privately, um, and his maintenance was paying for it. So, fast forward a few months, however long it took, she went to child maintenance. They drastically reduced the amount of money she gets, and she had to move out of that house. Whereas if she kept getting the money that he was offering at the time, she would have still been able to stay there. But she cut her nose off to
Right.
spite her face, and I tried to warn her, and I tried to warn her, and then she ended up, she moved in with her mum initially, with her kids, and then she got a council house, and then she went back, she retrained and everything, and she ended up buying a house with her mum, I think, I don't know. I don't talk to her anymore. No, no, fell out with her or anything, I just don't really see her. Um, and I'm not slating anybody because I live in a council house and whatever else, and I'm obviously a single mum and I get maintenance for one of mine. But
Well,
no, I don't know when. Sometimes
yeah,
it's an ongoing fight. Let's just say that it's a constant battle to get what your child is required or entitled to. Sometimes, um, and sometimes I just want to say, "Get out the way, bitch! Get out the way!"
yeah, don't we all? Road trip.
You just, I was literally just about to say that. See, whenever me and her talk about this, and do you remember Lara, my pal that I worked in, my other pal that I worked in Nan Summers with that stays in Troon?
Hmm.
Every time me and her talk about it as well, we're like, doing a road trip, doing a drive-by.
Road trip.
Aye.
Funny.
Listen, sometimes it's
Right.
required.
So that was our wee topic on marriage and prenups and that, wasn't it?
Aye.
Let's see. Right, it's done
Oh,
that, done
here's your
that, done.
one. So, what kind of coincides with marriage and relationships and things is pregnancy. What were you saying about pregnancy cravings the other day?
Oh, aye. But what was your pregnancy cravings?
Right, so I didn't necessarily have any actual cravings, but I always knew when I was pregnant because the days leading up to when I should have been due my period, I always craved either cheese Wotsits or cheese quavers.
That's right.
But then, see by the time I got to kind of 6 to 8 weeks into my pregnancy, didn't eat them again the rest of my pregnancy. No, that I didn't eat them, but I didn't crave them. And that was the only cravings I ever had when I was pregnant. It was always just when I was my first month of my pregnancy. Well, before I knew, leading up to my when my period would have been due, and that's how I always knew I was pregnant because
Did you get put off anything when you were pregnant?
you mental. Have you seen the size of me?
When I was pregnant
Well,
with my
I say I
first,
never get put off it. See, when you go into the supermarket and you smell the bakery, that used to make me heave. Like I would feel sick and I would start to feel a bit, ooh. I mean, I feel like that all the time, but that's the
when
only
my
thing.
first, my cravings was corned beef and beetroot.
We were talking about this yesterday. No, that
Aye, that
that
was
actual
a
craving, but
big
no,
craving
that
for
as a
me.
craving, but just as a meal.
And I couldn't smell. I actually did that like pure white? It must be that light. Um, I couldn't stand the smell of a takeaway.
My mum couldn't.
McDonald's, Burger King, KFC made me
I'm gonna get this
ill.
wrong. So when my mum was pregnant with me, I think it was Golden Wonder cheese and onion and oranges, and she couldn't eat a Chinese, like a Chinese takeaway, not an actual person. Sorry,
Another
sorry, that was a dad
another
joke, right? That was a dad joke.
craving I had was Space Raiders, remember? And you had to send me the mail.
That's right. Space Raiders and the Spicy Bikers.
You had to send them to me, remember?
Hmm. I no, I never really had cravings. I mean, I would just eat and eat and eat. I remember one time being in Manty Rosemary's and we were all getting a takeaway. So it was me, my mum, Manty Rosemary, and my oldest. I don't think there was anybody else there at the time. And she's like, "Oh, we'll get a takeaway, we'll get a curry. What do you fancy?" And I went, "I don't care as long as it's red." Who even says things like that? A pregnant
Mm.
woman. That's who.
With my youngest, it was pure weird. Mine was tomato, cheese, and vinegar.
How did that work?
So like feta cheese, like white cheese chopped
Oh
up with chopped
no,
up tomatoes. And I don't like tomatoes. I hate tomatoes.
I don't like feta
And
cheese.
vinegar at the top. But see, anytime I was pregnant, right? This is pure
I no,
mental.
I had visions of you with a slice of cheddar with a tomato on and trying to pour your vinegar on top, and the vinegar's
No.
just dripping off.
Um, Anytime I was pregnant, my ma knew before me because my ma used to phone me and say, "You done a test, you're pregnant?" I'd say, "How?" And she'd say, "Because I've started eating tomato sauce again."
That happened to one of my pals. So there was three of us all pregnant at the one time. We were 19. We all went through primary school together. We all went through secondary school together, and we stayed pals and whatever else. We don't stay in constant contact with each other, but we were always pals. We've never like fell out. We've never whatever. Um, but so she was going to Blackpool for the weekend or for the week with her mum, and the day they were leaving, her mum says to her, "Take a pregnancy test," and she's like, "I'm not pregnant." I think I'm sure she knew she was, or she had a feeling she was. And her mum's like, "Take a pregnancy test, you're pregnant." She's like, "No." Then she took a pregnancy test and she was pregnant.
Well,
Um,
that's what happened to me with my youngest. My ma phoned me and
but
she went, "I've
no,
started eating chips and tomato sauce. Are you
listen,
pregnant?" I was like, "No." And she's like, "Go and do a test." And then I phoned her back the next day and I went, "Aye." And she went, "Aye, because I'm craving tomato sauce." My ma hated tomato sauce. She loved tomatoes, but see, anything tomato flavour, my ma hated it. Crisp sauce, like, hated it. But anytime I was pregnant, that's what my ma went, chips and tomato sauce.
well, my mother doesn't like me enough to pay that much attention to notice any
And it
of
was
these
actually
changes.
funny because before, obviously, she passed away and she was in work, like after her treatment and that. She phoned me and she says, "I've started eating chips and tomato sauce today. You better do a test." I was like, "It's no me. I'm no, like, definitely no me."
Um,
And it turned out one of the lasses that she was so close to in work was going through IVF and it was her that was expecting.
that's mad, isn't it? No,
Crazy.
three pregnancies and they all started the same. They didn't all end the same, but they all started the same.
But then me and obviously, my wife, it's dead funny because
You need to explain
she,
this because people are going to start thinking that you've got a husband and a wife.
I have, my wife's my best pal. Um, she always, see when she gets pregnant, either between 3 or 6 months after that I'm pregnant, all the time.
Right, so this happened to me and Vicky. See how this is one of my pals that we were pals till we were 14. Um, so I fell pregnant at 19, just after I turned 19. And then she fell pregnant at 21. She literally just turned 21. And then so there was 2 years between my oldest and her oldest. Then when I fell pregnant with my second, she fell pregnant 2 years later again.
So she fell pregnant first, then I fell pregnant straight after 3 months, I think it was after. Aye. Then she fell pregnant again that year. We all fell pregnant. It was my 30th. I think it was something in the matter. I was about 12 years pregnant.
That was
Eh,
like me with my oldest. There was hundreds of pregnant at that time.
Then, obviously, the last time the ectopic one, I phoned her and I says, "Have you done a test?" And she's like, "What?" And I went, "You done a test?" And she's like, "No." I went, "Well, you must be because I'm a." And she's like, "No, don't be daft, don't be daft." And then obviously all the stuff with my dad. And I remember going home and she was pure fidgety and my dad was. And I'm like, "There's something wrong with her." Like I just arrived in that night and she was waiting for everybody to go. And I'm like, "There's something no right with her. Like she's no staying in the same room as me for long enough." And yeah, everybody left and she sat down. She went, "Annie," and I went, "You're pregnant." And she went, "How do you know?" I says, "And you're about 16 weeks." And she went, "Bang on." How I says, "I told you, like it's you and
Aye.
then it's me."
So me and Vicky were always there was two years apart, base almost exactly. So wait till I think. We both had our oldest in July, so that was literally exactly 2 years apart. But then our youngest, they weren't quite 2 years. But then when I had my ectopic, that was my last pregnancy. She wasn't pregnant. She didn't fall pregnant, but one of my other pals did. Um, it's mad though. It's mad how everybody round about you kind of
So
all.
with us, it's like one of them's the end of October, and then obviously I'm January, and then like so it's like just. two
So she warned
months.
me. She used to always say to me, "You better not fall pregnant again." And
That's what I
I've
do
got
to
no
her.
intentions.
And then obviously the next one's March, and then I'm January again, and then the last one, obviously she was August, and I'd have been in November.
Aye, I was
Yeah,
aye, so
man.
mine's are July, December, and that last one would have been December as well. Um, aye, it's crazy though. It is mad how it all kind of pans out. But me and my cousin, we were so when I was pregnant with my youngest, there was loads of us pregnant at the time. So there was me and one of my closest pals at the time and her sister were all pregnant. And then one of their pals was pregnant, and then who else? Oh, wait, I think has it a minute ago. There was a good few. There must have been about 8 years all pregnant at the one time. Oh, my pal Natalie, she was pregnant at the same time, but she was living in America at the time. Who else? There was quite a few years though.
So at my 30th, right, a lot of people flew earth the back came, and she was the only one that was pregnant to start with. It was her and Sheriff's sister. Then we had my party night, and there was four couples at my party night. And then, see, by the time like, the birthday and all that was finished and everybody went back came, and see, by the October, everyone is had announced our pregnancies. Even
Wow.
me, we all announced. Must have been something in the water. Everyone has announced their pregnancies.
Right, so here's a question for you. Seeing as we're talking about nothing to do with like pregnancies or anything like that, seeing as we're talking about relationships and marriages and pregnancies and everything else. So, say if you were to line all my exes up, no damage to them, don't
Mm.
worry. I've not got that in my head to know, right? And I'm not doing it nice to them either. You probably wouldn't see the same quality in any two of them. Do you know what I mean? So
Aye,
like
they're all different.
they're all different. So what actually attracts you to somebody?
Well, yours must have been the job because I think that's the only thing they all had to comment.
You know, fucking pure down and out. That's what you're talking about. Um,
Mine's is personality. It's always been personality.
right, see, I'm the same. And a lot of people kind of laugh at that one. But I've never no, listen, see if you're my ex, I'm not saying you're ugly. So don't take this the wrong way. And if you're my future, whatever, butt buddy, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, auntie, uncle, I'm not saying you're ugly either. But looks fade. I've never understood why somebody goes for looks. I get there's got to be some kind of physical attraction, right? Aye. But why do you, what? And I'm not saying that because I'm fucking ugly, okay? I mean, I know I've got the war paint on the day, but I've never been somebody I've never like, say for example, somebody sends you a photo and goes like, oh my God, he's pure stunning or she's whatever. I've
Aye.
never been one to go, oh aye, I've got to get to know the person
See, I think you see somebody's beauty completely different
when you
if
get to know them.
I. So, like, obviously, I've had people, and I remember I used to ask my ma this question, like, we would show somebody pure stunning, and my ma would be like, aye, they're all right. They're not as good looking as what your dad used to be. And I'm like, what? Like, how can you say that? Like, but see, now I know what she means because people can show me and go, oh my God, is he no gorgeous? And I'm like, ah, no, Sheriff's nicer. Like,
Aye.
because
It's
obviously his personality
beauty
shows.
is in the eye of the beholder.
I'm
No, I
actually pretty
just
excited. My wee man's coming here. Sorry, I had to get that out of
chance somebody's getting that kingman out.
had to get that out. After all
Get
these
the
years, and I still miss him like a
floodgates
big baby.
open. Um,
Yeah, miss my old boy.
I don't
Get him
know.
here tonight.
I don't know. No, it's always got to be a personality. They've got to be able to hold a conversation as well. Um, I and I don't know. I just don't know. And regardless of what Danielle says, it's got feck all to do with her job, okay? That was just unfortunate. No, the first one wasn't even in that job to start with. He ran
Yes,
away to
okay.
that job.
But guys, I'm gonna need to like cut us off here
I know you were
because
going to say that.
the
You know,
time
I was
has
looking at
come.
the time and I was trying to count 3 years ahead.
Aye. Um, do you know what? I actually totally forgot about it because on this computer it says 8 minutes past 11. Is that your time now?
Mhm.
I will. So that's 3 years behind this computer.
Well, you've got another 3 years to go and get
Yeah, never mind. Well, that was true.
it. Right, so that's our tuppence worth about red flags, relationships, what attracts us to people, and all that malarkey. If yous think something different, write in and
Where
tell us.
actually did that time go? I don't think we'd like what happened there. I don't think we've covered half the stuff that we were meant to cover.
I mean, we never even touched on the subject we were going to do to start with.
I know, like, but what happened
That's all
there?
because I started
How long's
singing.
this been on for?
Easy, my darling, will you not marry me?
How long's this been on for?
Don't know. Um, an hour and a
Hold
half.
on.
No, an hour. You were late, Linda. It was meant to start at 2:45 and you never came on at 2:45, so I put a
I
video
come
up
on.
outing you
I come on at one. When did that video go up? Because as soon as that went up, that's when we started.
about an hour ago.
Well, guys, we hope you have a lovely weekend. Don't do
We all know
anything
what
that
kind
Aileen
of
wouldn't
weekend
do.
Danielle's going to have.
If you do, use protection.
Aye. And if you want to get married and somebody asks you to sign a prenup, tell them to bolt.
Actually, I want people to like actually write into us about
I
this, how
just
they
said
feel about
that.
prenups.
I just
Like,
said that. If you've got anything to say, that was your two tuppence worth. If you've got anything to say about what we're like the red flags, the prenups, or whatever else, write in because it'd be good to see somebody else's insight. If you've got a prenup, or if you're planning on hitting somebody with a prenup,
you don't need to give us every
let us
detail,
know.
but like
Aye,
just
you do.
explain it to us. Well,
I'm a
you're
nosy
just being
bastard. Aye, you do.
I know you. Right,
Listen, I've got
guys.
a boring life. I need to know everybody else's life.
I need to
Um,
hold this mic now because I've just broke it off the table.
oh my God, I can't cope with her. Right. We will. This will. Well, you'll know it good because you'll be watching it, and we'll be back next week, and I'm sure we'll hear all about Danielle's antics when her husband came back. But for now,
Well, I don't
take
think
care,
go
enjoy
into
your weekend, stay safe,
details.
and we will speak to you all soon. Bye.
Bye.